Council met in session last night, March 20th at 5:30 in the council chambers. Several items of business. First on the agenda was several street assessments. Each year we try to assess part of the project. Roughly each homeowner is responsible for about 15%. 30% becomes assessable on the project. Other charges are borne by our general revenues and general taxes paid by constituents. So that leaves about 15% for each side of the street homeowners are responsible for generally. So those assessments were up for this coming year. And the public hearings were held on 4th Avenue Northwest, as well as 1st Street Southwest, 2nd Street Southwest, 6th Street Southeast, 16th Avenue Southeast, and 5th Avenue Northwest, 6th Avenue Northwest, and 7th Avenue Northwest. Several different projects throughout the city. The only one that we had some objections on were the last one on 5th Avenue Northwest. Had one constituent come and object to that, so the council pulled that out of the discussion and the assessment for later understanding, and the constituent will be meeting with staff to better understand the assessments and how they work. So council approved those at the public hearing, adopted the declaring the cost and adopting the assessment roll for those projects, so those will move forward for the construction season that's coming up on us. First item on the petitions and requests was a resolution relating to pollinators. This is bees and other pollinators to encourage their, habitat and those sorts of things throughout the city, and address neonicotinoids and fipronil, some chemicals that have been proven to be harmful to pollinators. So council took a position in support of that. We joined 15 other cities across Minnesota to be pollinator friendly. We accepted some donations for the city of Austin. We granted liquor licenses, 2 liquor licenses for Hy-Vee in their new store. We're excited to see that moving forward and progress being made there. Hopefully they'll be opening soon, and be exciting to see the new store there. We also approved change orders for wastewater treatment facility. That was a $3 million project. We've talked about frequently how the expenses at our wastewater treatment facility are pretty significant. That's our largest investment property that we have in the city of Austin. We did some domestic digester rehab project, that, as I mentioned, $3 million. We had a couple change orders, so had to adopt those. Council approved those change orders and closed out the project. The council resolved into the Board of Adjustment and Appeals for a request from Nikki Bauman. She wants to have horses on her property out on West Oakland. Still within the city, she'd be she was given a 5-year interim permit to allow horses on there, and a 60 by 80 horse barn and fencing, different requirements. Several conditions were put on that by the city council as recommended by the planning commission. There'll also be a retention pond on the property to help with some of the retention issues. So we got a real win-win scenario for the homeowner and as well as the other residents in that area. Council approved that. Hormel Foods at their annex wanted to add a 7-foot fence, which we allow 6-foot fence, and 7-foot fences only by council approval or larger. Council saw fit to approve that at 7 feet, so that project can move forward with the fencing around there for security purposes. We also approved a grant coming back into the city council from the Board of Adjustment and Appeals. We approved a training grant for the fire department. Jim McCoy, Chief McCoy, was able to get 80% funding from the Minnesota Board of Firefighter Training, as well as the Department of Homeland Security, training for hazardous materials and chlorine response. So those trainings will be paid 80% by those funding sources and 20% by our local sources to match that. We had a cleanup property at 503 13th Street Northwest, the Rubel property, and other than that pretty well closed out the council meeting. If you have any questions about this, any other items, please give me a call, 437-9941. Appreciate you joining us on this episode, and have a great day.